Hello everyone, this lesson we will go over and look at some double-digit Q endgame puzzles on a 9x9 Go boards. Let's get started. In this puzzle, what is the best way for black to finish the endgame? If black simply hane, connect, and white gets this block, black is 1 point worse because this push is a sente for black. So black should push here first, and then hane, and then connect. This is the best result for black in this position. In this position, black's going to play and finish off the endgame in the most effective way possible. First of all, you try to find which place on the board still has value. There's this part that's value, and there's this move at g7 that has value. So which of these is a correct sequence? So in endgame, the timing and the sequence is very, very important. So playing here is a right sequence. This is sente, we get the temper. We keep the initiative, we keep the temper. We keep sente. And then playing this hane and connect. That is puzzle solved. The best way to finish the endgame. That's the best way to finish this endgame for black. In this position, what is the best way for black to finish the endgame? Well, we have this hane and connect. This is one valuable area. And the second valuable area is this Atari. So Atari here would be the best way because it is a sente. If white doesn't respond and white plays hane and connect, black can capture and connect back, which is going to be the same value. Black goes here, black connects, and this is the best way to solve this endgame. Let's look at this position. There are two places that have value on the board. One, or actually one place, only around here. But how can black extract the highest amount of value? By playing first. If black simply plays over here, takes 2 points, white plays over here, it is not the most ideal. It is 1 point worse, actually 2 points worse. So the best move for black in this position is to play e4. This move at e4, it is sente. It is threatening to enter white's territory. So this is the best sequence, and then black plays here. If white plays over here, we can push, and then go back and protect ourselves with two points. And protect our 2 points. So in the endgame, especially in a 9x9 Go game, develop the habit to make sure your endgame is really accurate. Because in the 9x9 game, if you have a 2 point inaccuracy, that can flip the entire game around. There's only so many spaces on the board. 2 points is very big on a 9x9. So many games, I've seen so many games finish off with a half a point difference. So keep that in mind. When you're playing endgame, try to be as accurate as possible. In this position, black's turn to play the endgame. Where is the best place for black? So first of all, find the valuable places find the valuable places on the board. There's this area and this snapback. But which one is more urgent? Well, the answer is hane and connect, because this is a sente. If white does not answer to black's hane and connect, black can follow up by cutting this one white stone and capturing this one white stone. So this move is much more urgent because it's a sente, it's a very big sente. It gives black the initiative. So black plays here first, and then black can use a snapback to capture these 2 white stones. And this move over here, 8-8, is actually worth 6 points. Black has 5 points, it takes away one of white's points. So it is 6 points in value. And this is the best way to play this endgame. In this position, what is black's best way to play the endgame? Currently, there are 2 open positions. Currently, there are 2 valuable positions on the board. There is this part and this part. How many points is this worth? Yeah, this is only worth 2 points. Okay, this is only worth 2 points. Now let's look at how can black reduce white's territory here in the most efficient way possible. If black goes over here, white is going to take the 2-point move. If black goes over here, white is going to take the 2-point move. So black has a very nice sequence over here, which is this attachment, f6. This attachment is very nice because white cannot capture this one black stone. So f6, and black can also enter with f7 and reduce more of white's territory. And after white answers, black can go back with his Hana and connect, and this is problem solved. Now let's go and do some harder puzzles, harder endgame puzzles. In this position, what is black's best endgame approach? Well, you might say to me, okay, isn't this Hana and connect, aren't they the same in value? You are correct, they are the same in value if you use a Hana. But black can utilize sente to get one extra point in this endgame. What can black do? Well, black can actually use a descent. So if black uses a descent at c9 and white gets a Hana and connect, black can attach at e9. So after black attaches at e9, it actually reduces 2 points of white's territory. So descent at c9 is the best move, white blocks, and then we go ahead and play this Hana and connect. You see the difference? Black plays here first, white were able to play c9, and then white connects. So this entire sequence, black gained 1 extra point. Let's go and dive into some harder puzzles. In this position, what is black's best way to play this endgame? So, this position, there are actually 3 places on the board that are valuable. Number 1 is squeezing over here and attacking these 4 white stones. So first of all, let's go here, and this is sente. Now there are 2 more valuable places. One is a Hana and connect, and the other one is Atari. Which one should black play? So if you remember sente, black should Atari first, and then Hana and connect. So playing the correct sequence, black was able to get all of the 3 endgame moves in this position. So black should be pretty happy. On this board, there are 3 valuable endgame positions. Here, here, and here. Yeah? But the right sequence of play will save you 1 point. So that's this position. We're going to look at potential follow-up value. Okay? So if black pushes over here, there's no more potential follow-up value. And if black plays like d9 then c9, c9 has no value. If white pushes d5 and then play d4, d4 has no value. However, if white gets f6 and then f7, both of these moves have a 1 point value. So f6 should be the first move black plays. After black plays f6, d9 and d5 is the same in value. White gets one, black gets the other one. However, if black gets the sequence wrong, white can play f6 and white can play f7 on the next move. So that will lose black 1 point. So the correct sequence is black plays f6 and then white gets one of them, black gets the other point. And this is the best way to handle this endgame. In this position, it is black's turn to play. How should black finish off this endgame? So there are 2 valuable positions on the board. One is Hana and connect. The other one is e7. Okay? When black Hana and connect, this is a sente. It is a very big sente. Black Hana and connect, black can capture a2, black can threaten to capture a2. So it is a no-brainer that in this position, black should Hana and connect first, and then play e7. So e7 is only worth 1 point. And this is problem solved. Alright, one final position. Black's turn to play and finish off the endgame. What should black do? So in this position, there are 3 valuable places on the boards. This one, a6, is worth 1 point. Capturing the stone is worth 2 points. connecting here is worth 3 points. And if you realize something, there's no other variables. All of these 3 moves are all gote moves, which means black has to give up the tempo to white. So if all of these moves are gote, all of these moves won't give you a tempo, then it is a no-brainer that you should go with the biggest move on the board, which is connecting here, 3 points. White connects here, and black takes the last endgame move. Very simple. So endgame in Go is pretty much this kind of way of thinking, okay? Judging the value, 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, whether or not there is sente, and whether or not there is continuous value after a move. So if you play a move that's kind of sente, your opponent doesn't respond, can you keep extracting value on the next move and the next move? Pretty much this kind of thinking for endgame is the foundation thinking for endgame. Okay? What I mean by foundation is if you understand the principle and the concept in this video, what you see in the single digit queue and down level endgames is going to click instantly. Okay, it's going to really click as you move up the ranks. And that's really the beauty of Go. Like in Go, you make sure you learn the structured principles, you learn the principle, the theory, and you build on top of the principles and the skill set you've learned. So in your next 9x9 game, keep in mind the sente, the gote, and the endgame importance, the importance of the endgame. Sometimes you might not know, you might not realize, you might be losing 4 to 5 points. But by playing a perfect endgame and your opponent messing up a few endgame moves, you turn the entire game around. And that's going to feel really, really good where you actually get a clutch by playing a perfect endgame. I'll see you guys in the next lesson. Bye bye.